Welcome to the MNC Department of Parks and Recreation celebration of National Heart Health Month. Throughout February, join us and learn simple steps you can take to protect your heart and promote overall health. Enjoy this fun, interactive, heart healthy cooking demonstration with our trained professional. Be sure to go back and try these recipes with your family.
Again, welcome and thank you for joining us for our celebration of Heart Health Month. My name is Edleen Dormaville, and I am a health and wellness assistant with the Department of Parks and Recreation. Before we begin, let's go over a few housekeeping items. You should see a microphone icon at the bottom of your screen, like you see here on this screen. You will need to click this icon to mute yourself. We ask that you remain muted to limit the distractions during tonight's event. The next screen, you'll see the camera icon. You will use this icon to turn your camera on and off.
Okay.
Please be mindful when your camera is on and all participations are joining us this evening because they can see your screen. You have the option to keep your cameras on or turn it off, but remember, we want to minimize distractions throughout the program and keep focus on the presentation provided. Lastly, we have the chat icon. This last icon, it's to is I will ask you to use this icon in the event that you would like to ask any questions or just participate throughout tonight's event. You can type a question and you would just click on the icon that you would like everyone to for everyone to see any of the questions that you have. I'm so sorry, guys. And so once you see the chat box that appears on the screen, there will be space for you to type in your question. Hit enter and we will see your question on the screen. Please ask your questions throughout the program and there will be time at the end to answer your questions. We are looking forward to having a great discussion tonight. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to you our trained professional for the evening. Ms. Rosin Law's education has equipped her with the extensive knowledge in holistic nutrition, health coaching, clinical herbs, and preventative health. Drawing on these skills and her knowledge of different dietary theories, she works with clients to help them make lifestyle changes that produces real and lasting results. Law received her training as a health coach from the Institute of Integrative Nutrition Innovation Health Coach Training Program. She also received her training as a clinical herbalist from the Mid Atlantic School of Herbalism and the Smile Herb Shop. As a clinical herbalist, she can provide a complete assessment and recommend customized list of herbal remedies for her clients. She uses foods, herbs, and exercise for healing and maintaining a heavenly body. Welcome, Roslyn.
Thank you. Thank you, Edleen. Thank you so much. And I hope you all have had a wonderful day. And we are going to get started. I am so happy to see that you all have joined me for another heart healthy cooking demonstration. This is the last one for this month. And I am so glad you are here. So, first of all, what I want to let you know is that um, we got to go over the must do's, and that is when you're shopping. I say this every time in the beginning of every cooking demonstration, especially now uh, in this pandemic. But washing your hands. So you're going to the grocery store, you're in the produce aisle because that's where you're going to spend most of your time in the produce aisle, choosing your whole foods, your potatoes and your vegetables and your tomatoes and your fruits, right? But when you get home, I need for you to wash them thoroughly. And they sell, I'm not sure if I've said this before, but they sell vegetable wash in the store. But if you don't want to spend that money on the vegetable wash, then what you're going to do is you can make your own solution. It's apple cider vinegar and water and some other things that you can put in solution. Just Google it and make your own solution. Spray down your produce, wash them really well, especially if they're not organic. And then scrub your hands all the way up to your elbows. Wash and then get busy in the kitchen, right? All right. So now that that's done, we're going to go to two of my favorite, two of my favorite recipes, and both of them are in my recipe book, right? So without further ado, you know, this is Heart Health Month, and they said, we need for you to do a cooking demonstration on heart healthy foods. Well, we already know that all of your vegetables, especially your leafy green vegetables, are great for the heart, great for the lungs, just great overall nutritionally, right? And so tonight I am doing one of my favorite vegetables, and that is a cabbage. But I put a little spin on a cabbage. I put a little different spin on it, and hopefully you will enjoy it. Now, you will receive the recipes after the session. So I'm not sure if it's tonight or tomorrow, but you will receive both recipes. So we're just going to roll right through. If you want to go ahead and jot down the recipes so that you can run to the store and make it tonight, then so be it. But let's get started. Next thing I do want to say before I start is feel free. Eileen told you about the chat. Feel free to go ahead and ask me questions in the chat. Just type it out and she will let me know when you all have the question, and I'll try to answer that question to the best of my ability. And then also, I'm going to be giving you some questions. I'm going to ask you some trivial questions, some things to think about, see how much you know. All right. And so let's get started. So first, cabbage, nice big head of cabbage. Now, let me just say this. The recipe that I have written out is for like portions of 8 people. But because I'm virtual, I get to make this for myself and my husband, right? Because we're eating. I don't have anybody that I have to share this with. So the recipe is going to be a little bit cut in half, all right? But it's still, all the ingredients are still going to be there, all right? So we have the cabbage. I normally buy organic. But right now, let's just face it, all of the food is expensive. But I still live by what I say, you either pay now or pay later, right? And I'm not even going to get into that as it being a setup, where the foods are getting expensive and, they want us to eat processed foods or frozen foods. Now, mind you, if that's what you can afford, then so be it, because I'd rather you eat what you can afford, if it's frozen kale or frozen cabbage or frozen, and that's what your pocketbook is allowing, then by means do that. If you have to eat like that, then okay. But if you don't, then I choose organic most of the time. I've just been doing it for a long time, and I know how to adjust. There are some stores that you can go to that even sell organic and great produce, cheaper prices, at lower prices. And so, for example, like Aldi's, Lidl, and even sometimes in Whole Foods and Mom's Market, you like today, I was in Mom's Market. They had kale for $1.49 a bunch of kale for $1.49, just one bunch. And so, to that point, this whole head of cabbage, I can get a couple of meals off of this. So you just have to change your mindset. Gone are the days that, you have to fix a whole lot of food, not unless you have a whole big family to feed. But if it's just 2 people or 3 people in the house, you can make this stretch. Plus, not only that, You know, you might want a variety. So cut that cabbage. Like I just cut a third of it. And this is how much I got. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's kind of light. But I got a lot of cabbage. So I'm going to put it over in the pan. But before I put it in the pan, I'm going to cook it in vegetable broth. Now, I'm a vegetarian. I should have said that in the beginning. I am a vegetarian. This month, I am a vegan. I am a vegan this month. So that's very important to say too, because of my recipe that I'm cooking tonight. But yes, I'm a vegan. So I'm using vegetable broth. But what I was going to say is if you eat chicken, then you can use chicken broth. Whatever you use, you can use a broth. The point is we're not using any oil in here in this recipe. So we're using a broth to cook it in. All right, so I have my broth in there. I'm going to add my cut up cabbage. Now you know it's going to cook down, right? Let me put the top on it. It's going to cook down. But guess what? I have a surprise guest to the recipe. What? What is that? Type in the chat. What's this? Type it in there. And it's beautiful, 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 pretty, nice green. Edeline, is anybody typing?
No typing yet. Kale. We have someone put kale in all caps.
Not kale. Nope, not kale. You're close though, not kale. What is that? I'll lay it right here so you can see.
Collard green.
It's collard greens. Absolutely.
Spinach.
Collard greens. So to my point, when I was talking about how much vegetables are, this whole bunch, this came in a bunch. Now, mind you, these are small right now. Usually organic collard greens, they're nice and big. You can find some nice big leaves, but these are kind of small. But this one bunch costs $2.29 at Mom's for a bunch. Now, all I'm using is a couple of leaves. I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4 leaves, and I'm going to roll them. I'm rolling them, and I know you probably can't see it, but I'm rolling it. See, oh yeah, you can see that. And then I'm rolling it really nice. Now, the smaller you slice it, the more you'll get. So you can, but listen, it's your food. If you like your greens, big old leaves, then you do that. But I like to kind of cut them small because I get more. And for me, I just don't like real big leaves of anything in my mouth. That's just me. And that's what makes the world go around, just differences, right? And I'm cutting it all the way, the stems included. The stems included? Yes. All the way down, including the stems. We're going to talk about the nutritional value of them both, the collard and the kale. I mean, the collard and the cabbage. All right, so let me add this in the pot, in the pan. That's my surprise guest. Yes. I'm going to mix them together. I'll put the top back on it. So I'm going to add my onion. I have an onion. Now this is a yellow onion. You can use any onion. You can use a red onion, shallots. You can use medallion, sweet onion, whatever kind of onion. This is actually a sweet onion that I'm using here. So you can use any color onion, any kind, whatever your preference is, whatever you have. But then again, I'm definitely talking about how much this food is costing, right? So you don't have to, you just want to get the benefits of an onion, but you don't have to use the whole onion. You can use half an onion. Save the other half for another recipe. Get the most bang for your buck, but you're getting the nutrients from that vegetable as well. As long as you get a little bit in is better than none at all. So I'm slicing my onion. So let's talk about the onion real quick, and then I'll go back and talk about the cabbage and the collards. The onion is antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, right? So you need to eat onions. Don't care if it makes your breath smell bad or whatever the myths are, but onions will take care of a lot of things. It'll help expel phlegm, and like I said, it will help to draw out the inflammation that's in your body. Next item is a red bell pepper. Red bell pepper is going to give it color, but also red bell pepper is great for vitamin C, and it also is great beta carotene. So beta carotene is great for your vision, eyesight, right? All right, so now I'm only using half of this bell pepper, half, because like I said, if you get some of the benefits, it's better than not having it at all. I know some people that they see the bell peppers and the green peppers and the orange peppers in the food, and they eat the food and they wipe away or they push away the peppers. I don't eat those. I don't eat those. I'm like, really? Have you ever tasted a red bell pepper? I want to know who on here, go ahead and type, who has tried red bell peppers raw? And if you have, what do you like to eat it with? I mean, I like to eat them plain. My granddaughter loves to eat them plain too. But what are some of the things that you like to do, eat with your red bell pepper?
I
Great
see
snack. Go ahead.
Someone said they eat it plain. One person said they eat it in salads. They have some people, ooh, they eat it with hummus.
Hummus. Bam, that's it. Hummus, great snack, great snack. I slice them really thick.
Miss Sheila, you have your hand up. Did you want to say something? I see you typed in the chat.
She might have.
She put in the chat, eats it with dip. So
okay, yes, make it a dip.
I use mine with dip, but I was just hands up, just agreeing to that I do eat them.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yes.
We have a couple more interesting answers. One person said they use it as a sandwich instead of bread. So instead of, they use the pepper as the bread.
Oh my goodness, that is awesome.
Yeah, that's really good. And the last one, they eat it with tacos.
Yeah. I like it. And also, what about stuffing them? Like stuffed red peppers?
No one said stuffed peppers.
Oh, somebody said that?
No, no one did. I just thought of it.
I'm telling you, you can stuff the peppers with mushrooms and different things and whatever you want. Put it inside the pepper and bake it. It is so good. And top it off with some cheese. Of course, right now I'm doing vegan cheese, but you can top it with cheese, run it in the oven. So good. Red bell pepper is amazing, but I love it for when you're going through a weight loss program or just basically trying to just eat fresh whole foods as a snack. Definitely, you can take your red pepper and make big strips and put the hummus in there, or even avocado guacamole, and make that a couple of strips of that and make it a great snack. Perfect, right? All right. So what do I have in here so far? I have my vegetable broth. I have my cabbage that I cut up, and I have my collard greens that I cut up, including the stems, right? All right, so next, I want to tell you about the cabbage. So the cabbage is a green leafy vegetable. Of course, you know that, right? Also, the collard greens are green leafy vegetables, but it's full of vitamin K. And vitamin K is what you need when, I think I said this last week, vitamin K is what you need to help push your vitamin D. A lot of us are um, vitamin D deficient. So it's not absorbed. It does. I mean, if you're taking vitamin D or any type of vitamins, it does no good if it's not absorbed in your system. So vitamin K will help absorb the vitamin D and your other vitamins. So what are the way to get vitamin K but to fill up on your leafy green vegetables? And so that's what your kale, your collards, your cabbage, your green leafy spring mix, romaine lettuce, all the dark greens that you can find, but not iceberg lettuce, not iceberg lettuce. But also, cabbage is also an alkaline food, and we want to be alkaline more so than acidic, because being acidic can cause a lot of inflammation, a lot of pain in your joints and things. So you definitely want to be alkaline, indulge in alkaline foods. Also, your cabbage has a lot of fiber. Somebody type in it. Tell me what fiber will do for you. Tell me what fiber will do. I'll wait. I'll wait. I'll wait. Fiber. What will fiber do?
Helps with constipation.
Two answers. Two people said constipation. Keeps you moving.
Keeps it moving.
Regular.
Yes, keep you regular. That fiber. So that's why I said you're gonna keep your stems. A lot of fiber in those stems, in those collard greens and those kale greens. You want to keep it. Now, some people say, I don't like it, I don't want to. Cut it up small. Just dice it up small. You won't feel it, you won't see it. Just cut it up small, but you will get the benefits of it. If you cut up small and just put it in your food, it's just, it's a no-brainer for me. Also, it's high in protein. Did you know that all vegetables have an amount of protein? Most people think most protein, well, it is true. Most protein is in animal protein and meats, but yes, everything that you eat. So, vegetarians or vegan, vegetables, they will still give them a good amount of protein, but you just got to eat a lot of it. All right. Then we have, I said, cabbage also has beta carotene. We talked about that. Folic acid, and it has a lot of vitamins. So vitamins B1, B6, vitamin C, vitamin K, has a lot of calcium and iron. But the one thing that I really love is that it has a lot of potassium. A lot of potassium. Most people think potassium, you can only get a lot of potassium from bananas. Yeah, you can get from bananas, but how about if you eat banana and cabbage, you're going to get your potassium. That's what you need to keep your nerves balanced, your nerve endings balanced. Potassium. All right. Cabbage is believed to reduce heart disease. The cabbage. And so that's why we're here. That's why we're here, because it's Heart Health Month, and that's why cabbage is on the menu. But also, so what I want you all to type in now is, do you know there's several varieties of cabbage? Let's see if you know. Let's see if you know some. Let's see if you know some varieties of cabbage. Type it in the book. Type it in the chat. Type it in the chat. Type it in the chat. Type it in the chat.
Oh, so a couple people have answered. We have purple cabbage, red cabbage, Napa cabbage. I have a
Oh,
question for you. Does red cabbage have the same effects as green cabbage?
yeah, pretty much. It pretty much does. But you know, the consistency of the red cabbage is a little coarser, harder, but it does. It has the same health benefits. I guess that's the question. It has the same nutrients, minerals, and nutrients in it. I have an awesome recipe for red cabbage. It's totally amazing. Patting myself on the back. But I love it. They gave out all the answers for the names of the cabbage.
Someone said bok choy as a
Yes,
type of
sure,
cabbage.
definitely. That's and I call it Chinese cabbage. Bok choy because I call it Chinese cabbage because you find bok choy in the Chinese food. And when I was coming up, I ate Chinese food all the time. Bok choy, I found out, is a Chinese cabbage. Definitely Napa, red cabbage. There's a green cabbage, and oh, Savoy cabbage. That's the crinkly cabbage. The crinkly cabbage. So you all are doing good. I love it. I love it. I love it. Awesome, wonderful, totally awesome. All right, now let's add our seasonings. What are we going to flavor it with? How are we going to flavor it? Like I said, there's no salt, there's no oil in here. So we started off with the vegetable broth. You can use chicken broth if you like. But next, what I'm going to do is add now I want to give it a little meat flavor, but it is vegan. Did you all know that those bacons, it's called bacon, Bacuns. It's in the salad section by your salad dressings and all of that, your croutons and all that. It says bacons. They are not, it's not real meat, but it's smoky. It has a smoky flavor and smell to it. And it's going to replace your, what is it called? Smoked turkey, whatever meat you use for your greens and your vegetables. And so my mother used to use ham hocks for hers, right? So this is going to replace the ham hocks. I mean, sometimes you just can't get away from it. I don't use it all the time, but I like to use it sometimes. So I put in my bacons, Bacuns, and that is that's printed on your recipe when you get it. Bacons. The next thing I'm going to add in is my cilantro. Cilantro. I know. Tell me another name for cilantro. Who knows? The other name for cilantro. I don't know, Edleen. That might be we might get a crickets on that one.
Yeah, I think this one has everyone stumped.
I get crickets on that one. Another name for cilantro. Anybody know? All right, let me just tell. What is it?
Coriander?
I know who said that.
Miss Anna. Is she right?
Miss Anna is correct. It's coriander. For sure, it's coriander. It's amazing. I love cilantro. Cilantro, when added to vegetables, it just enhances the flavor of all vegetables to me. So I added to my cabbage, all of my greens. Cilantro is just the best ever. And you know, they have cilantro at Chipotle in the rice. You use cilantro in guacamole. And cilantro is just the best. Now, some people tell me they don't care for it, but either people like it or they don't. There's no in between. I love cilantro. Okay, so cilantro. The next ingredient is a little bit of sea salt. Just a little bit of sea. Now, if you are having issues with hypertension, then you're going to omit the salt, right? Hypertension, that's cardiac. cardiovascular, and that's what we're talking about today for your heart. Because I'm virtual and I'm not sharing it with you all, they're giving you all samples, and I have to eat it, I'm putting a little bit of sea salt in mine. All right. So that's just a little bit of information for you. The next thing is garlic. Garlic. All right. So type in the chat a couple of things that you know garlic is, how garlic benefits you. Tell me. Garlic. We know. Oh, let me stop talking before I give it away. I did that last time. I just gave it away. Garlic. Health benefits of garlic.
Our first answer, it decreases blood pressure.
Ah, totally amazing answer.
Blood pressure, we have another one that helps with your blood pressure.
Absolutely. Blood pressure for sure. Anybody else?
Oh,
What is it?
someone said just keeps your blood pressure low. Another one helps with cholesterol.
Ah, yes, cholesterol for sure. Uh-huh. Anything else? Anybody else?
That's it for now.
All right. So garlic is great also, is antibacterial and antiviral. So, I don't know if anybody has heard that, when you are feeling a cold coming on, you can actually cut a piece. I'm talking about the bulb, the garlic clove. Cut a piece of garlic clove and just take a little bit and eat it raw. It will help to get rid of it or knock out the bacteria in a cold or a flu virus. It will help with that. So it's antibacterial as well as antiviral. Garlic is, and like you said, everybody knows that it's great for cardiovascular help for your heart, for that blood pressure. I'm just going to add a little bit, the rest of this broth in there and let it cook. And so you're going to add your garlic here in your recipe. Now, I added my spice of life, and I talk about that all the time. I just put it in everything. And garlic is included in the spice of life. And it's turmeric in there, and it's berberine. It's a blend that I actually did. But because I'm eating it, that's what I put in here. And it is smelling amazing. Now, this is done. It's done. You don't cook it all day. You do not cook it all day. You don't have to cook it all day. If you cook it well, when I say all day, don't cook it long. Don't put the heat under it very long. So you're going to let it go for, about 15, 20 minutes, no longer than that, if that much, but at least 15 minutes to make sure your collard greens are cooked nicely. And then for those people, I think there's some people that was here last week. How many times you're supposed to chew your food before you swallow? Uh-oh. Anybody want to take a stab at it?
32, 32, 24. So it looks like we have a couple people with some repeat visitors. So a bunch of 2 and 30s. We have one person said 40.
Okay, so up to 40 for sure, but we can do 30 to 40. 32, great answer. But and so my point is that you want to prepare your leafy vegetables, but don't get them too soft. But if they're not too soft, then you have to chew your food. You have to chew them at least 32 times to 40 until it becomes liquid, and then you swallow. And that's what you do. So you just don't complain that it's not cooked, it's not done. That's what my mom said. I gave her some greens, and she totally was not used to greens being cooked like this. And because she cooked hers all day long on a Saturday, and they were mushy and soft, where you put it in your mouth to chew it. You chew 2 times, and then it slid down your throat. So she wasn't having this kind of greens right here. So I had to, just, she was 94 years old, used to it. So I wasn't changing it. Plus, not only that, it's hard for them to chew 32 times when they're that old. All right. That's the greens, y'all. That's the sauteed cabbage with a twist of collard greens and your red bell pepper and your onion, some bacons, your vegetable broth, a little bit of sea salt, only if you're not hypertensive, and garlic. And did I say onion? All right, but you'll receive the recipe. Okay. All right. Any questions before I move on? Anybody have any questions before I move on to my second recipe here? To the second one. Any questions?
No.
Let me take. All right. Get my water in.
One comment our person said it smells good.
It does. It smells amazing. I can't wait. And I am hungry. So I can't wait. I'm so sorry you all cannot partake, but I can. I can. And guess what? The star of the show is not in the room. I left it in the refrigerator. So I need to go get it really quickly. Edlene, play some soft music while I go away. No, I'll be right back.
Okay.
I gotta turn my mic. All right, I'm back. Woo! I apologize. I totally forgot I knew I was going to do that. But this is all about virtual. This is what happens. Y'all there? Are you there, Adeline?
Yes, we're here. So one question about the cabbage. Someone asked, can you freeze it?
Cabbage gets kind of watery. And so let me just say this. You can try. Let me know. But I've never frozen cabbage before. And let me just say this. I haven't frozen cabbage before because most of the time when I prepare food, I prepare pretty much just enough for that meal, or at least enough maybe for the next day for lunch. But but to your point about having some, buying it, making the whole cabbage, doing the whole dish and putting it in the freezer, it's definitely not a bad idea because then you can just come home and warm it up, take it out and warm it up. But cabbage is already kind of produces water, and then when you freeze it, it's going to be a little more water. Right. So I'm not sure how it's going to pan out. Pan out. How is going to pan out? Is that the only question?
That's the only question. Thank you so much for that answer.
I appreciate it. Did you sing while I was gone? Did you sing a
I did
song?
not sing. I didn't want people to disappear and run away with my awful singing voice. So I
Oh,
scared.
okay, I appreciate that because I would have been wondering where everybody went. Like, where did they go?
They're
All
still-
right.
But Yolanda did ask the chat, did anyone try any of the recipes that you shared during this month? And one person said they tried the 3-bean salad and it was excellent.
Awesome.
Someone else tried the garlicky greens and the couscous and it was delicious.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
And I have another participant said that they freeze their cabbage all the time.
Okay.
So it can be frozen.
All right. And it does well.
Yes.
Awesome. Great. That's what I love. That's why I like for you to talk back and give everybody else, some tips and some information. I love it. I love it. All right. So next I am doing one of my husband's favorite, but my favorite for sure, because I said I am a vegetarian, but really I am a pescatarian. And pescatarians eat seafood. They eat mainly fish. But me, I don't eat all fish. I don't eat the salmon or trout or all of those fish. I don't eat all of those. I only eat fish that I eat is crab. Seafood I eat is crab, shrimp, and lobster every now and then, but I can't afford none of that right now. So I do eat tuna, fresh tuna steaks, fresh tuna steaks. And so that's what I'm making now for you all. A pan-seared tuna. But remember, I said I'm doing vegan right now, so I can't even have this. All of this is going to be for my husband. And he'll eat it over a couple of days. And he'll be so happy tonight. But pan-seared tuna, pan-seared tuna. So let's talk about that tuna for a second. Why would you think tuna is the topic featured on Heart Healthy Cooking Demo Month, Heart Health Month? Why would you think tuna? What do you think is the benefit of tuna?
Ooh, so one person said omegas.
Well, we have some smart people in here. I love it. I love it. I love it. Definitely the omegas that's found in fish, but tuna has very high amounts of omegas, and so therefore it has high levels of fatty acid in it. So fatty acid in tuna may help reduce the levels of omega fatty acids and cholesterol that will accumulate inside the arteries of the heart. So fatty acids will accumulate, and that's what causes hardening of the arteries. So eating tuna will help that. Will help that. It may also reduce the rate of heart disease and heart attacks. Your omegas, your tuna, right? So now, what about some names of tuna? What kinds of tuna fish? What kind of tuna fish? This one is a certain kind right here. What kind do you think? Different names of them.
I'm waiting.
Different kind.
That ahi tuna.
Yes, ahi tuna. Now I love ahi tuna.
Albacore and yellowfin.
Yes, it's one person saying all that.
Other people. We're getting a lot of participation.
That is, I love it. I love it. All of those answers are correct. Those different types of tuna is correct.
Healthy. We have a
And
lot
what you
of
say?
healthy people on the line. They know their stuff.
They know their stuff. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, all right. Support. And also, let me just read this because this was good information. Tuna can support weight loss because it's high in protein. It has like, okay, so 4 ounces, because they say you should eat about 4 ounces of protein. That's chicken or whatever, right? So it stands true for your tuna. at least 4 ounces of tuna. So there is 26 grams of protein in a 4-ounce tuna steak. A 4-ounce tuna steak, 26 grams. I like 22. I get at least 22 grams of protein in my protein drink in the mornings. So if I do 22 of the protein and then 26 of my tuna, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Then it's low in calories. It's low in calories. It's only 145 calories in a 4-ounce steak, tuna steak. And then also it's high in vitamin D. Tuna. Vitamin D. So not only is it great for your heart, but it's also high in vitamin D, which is great for your bone health. And vitamin D is also great for the immune system. You all have been hearing that for a while. And then it has loads of minerals and vitamins, vitamin B6, potassium, iron, and iodine. So that's your education about your tuna. But I love it that you all know your tuna. You know your tuna. So what I'm going to do is, this is called pan-seared tuna steak. Now, I don't know if you know, but you can go to the meat section at the store and get real. Now, this is yellowfin tuna. It's a little darker than a regular, than the ahi tuna. So it's a little darker, and it's from the cut of the tuna. So I'm going to put this on maximum pan seared. All right, so first what I did was I actually marinated. So let me make the marinade. Here's my other bowl. I'm doing a marinade. I marinated this, and so I'm gonna make a little bit more. So I put honey, and I really can't eat this because this is vegan, and honey comes from a bee, so I really can't eat this. All right. I'm putting in liquid amino, some liquid amino. That's amino acids. It's replacing your soy sauce. And it has at least 16 amino acids in that liquid amino. The liquid amino is going to give it a salty taste. All right. Your fish is already salty, but it's going to help it. Then I'm putting in toasted sesame oil. Toasted sesame oil, not the regular sesame oil. Putting in some toasted sesame oil. And then I'm putting in a little bit of black pepper. Black pepper. And then I'm going to whisk it until the honey is dissolved throughout of everything else, the mixture. Then what you're going to do is just pour it on top of your tuna steaks. You're going to pour it over top of your tuna steaks, and then let it marinate in the refrigerator for at least, let's say, overnight. You can do it overnight, 10 minutes or overnight. All right. Now you're going to take your olive oil and put a little bit in your pan. This is my own olive oil. This is in my website. A little bit of olive oil in the pan. Pan seared means that you're going to take it to a very high temperature. Now, some people some people eat tuna raw. What is that? That's sushi. They eat tuna raw. So I don't eat tuna raw. I don't. My husband does in sushi, right? So you can do it raw. So that means that you just have to decide how long you want to cook your tuna. Now, when I cook mine, it is all the way done. I like mine all the way done. That tuna steak, when it's done, for me, it tastes like a pork chop. I remember how pork chop tastes. The consistency of it is like a pork chop. So you can do it a long time or a shorter time. The shorter times, of course, is not going to be cooked all the way through. But the point is, you're going to get your pan very, very hot to pan sear it. My husband actually likes it, like I said, raw. So I'm going to lay it in here. And I'm going to do it kind of fast because I'm going to turn it. I can't believe it. This is my test right here. My test. Now I'm going to flip it. I am going to let it cook just a little bit in the middle. You see how, I don't know if you all can see that because of the smoke. Oh my gosh. This is a challenge right here. I'm just telling you all because I love this. And I am going through over here. It's a challenge. I'm just telling you, I am a strong woman. I'm just saying. I'm going to cover it up for a second. I don't know, Edlene, were you able to see that or was it too much smoke?
Yes, I was able to see.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And just letting it simmer just a little bit because like I said, he likes his a little raw in the middle. And I think that's it. That's all we're going to do. I'm going to turn this off. And I'm going to put it on the plate just so that you all can see it. I cannot taste it though. I'm so mad. I'm not mad. I'm good with it. I'm strong. I'm telling you, reminds me of a pork chop, y'all. Let me see if I can go with this one. I'll go with the little pieces so you all can see. Still a little bit done in the middle. I mean, a little bit raw in the middle. So I'm going to come over here so that you can see. Come a little closer. And this is your tuna, pan-seared tuna. Real tuna steak, not from the can. I'm not saying that you all don't know, but I'm just saying some people don't know that tuna steaks come raw in the meat section.
So we have one question.
Yes.
Someone wants to know, does it have a fishy taste? They've never tried tuna steaks before.
So that's one of my problems with regular fish, that it has a fishy taste. And I immediately get sick when I taste anything that has that fishy taste. This does not have the fishy taste, especially when you marinate it. So what I do, I will marinate it and then I will put so actually let me just tell y'all, these pieces of tuna really came from two tuna steaks, two fat pieces of tuna steak. But I cut them up because it's expensive now. Everything has gone up. It's very expensive. So what I do is I cut them, when I come home, I wash them really nicely. Then I cut them in half if I get the big thick ones. So I cut them in half and then I marinate it and then I put them in the freezer. And for some reason, after I put them in the freezer, the whole fishy situation is gone. When you take it out of the freezer and then I put them in the air fryer and the whole fishy, it's just a miracle. The fishy taste is gone. It's gone. It doesn't have a real bad fishy taste from the beginning anyway, but that fishy taste is gone. I don't know how. I don't know how, but it is gone.
So I have one question here. The dressing that you made at the last cooking session, how long can you keep it?
What dressing did I make at the last cooking session? Do you know what that was?
I remember you making a dressing.
Well, so let me just say this. Normally, I can't remember what it was. I think if it had vinegar in it, most of the time, it'll last in the refrigerator for. I've kept my homemade dressings in the refrigerator for at least 3 months. So it just depends on how much you're going to, how often you're going to eat salad. But let me tell you, I had a baked potato on Valentine's Day, and I put that salad dressing. Oh, I think I made was that the beans? What did I make last week? Oh, no, no, no. I made the salad dressing for the first um, demo. I made that same salad dressing Valentine's, and I put that salad dressing on top of a baked potato. On top of a baked potato, it was so, so good. So yes, you can have it. It's just my point is eat it, eat it, make it with your salads and eat it. With your salad dressing, your potatoes, your salads, your potatoes. Now I can eat these greens. This cabbage and these greens. I am eating this because I am hungry. And I'm going to have some brown rice with this and probably a veggie burger or something like that. I don't know. But this is a cabbage. Oh, let me put some more in here. Because you have to get I have to get my onion, I have to get my red pepper on the plate. And actually, what I'm going to do is after I come around, I always do this. I come around and show you the cabbage. So this is the cabbage. And I'm going to try it for you. Totally amazing.
Looks good.
I'm chewing 32 times. So, so good. I'm just saying, so good. So, so good. All right. That is it. That is it. I just have a question. Takeaways. What is if anything, what would be one thing that you got from this session today? What would you do? What will you repeat on your own? Anything? What did you learn? Nobody learned anything today. Oh.
Well, people are very pleased with how your meal looks. It looks delicious. Someone learned that they can mix cabbage with greens. Two people said they learned that they can mix their cabbage with their greens. One person learned how to cook tuna steak.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Amazing. Totally amazing. And that's it. That's it for today. I really, really appreciate it that you all joined me and spent this last hour here learning, investing in your health. And that's it. I thank you. I'll see you next time.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for joining us. Before we leave, I do have a few announcements. We want your feedback, so be on the lookout for an email with the link to complete a survey for a chance to win an Amazon gift card, along with any other resources from tonight's program. Also, please join us for our nutrition workshop on March 1st from 6 p.m. to 7 as we kick off National Nutrition Month. And lastly, Dine, Learn, and Move is next Wednesday, February 23rd from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Thank you again for joining us and have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
Thank you for joining us for National Heart Health Month. For more videos to help you live a heart-healthy lifestyle, visit the Department of Parks and Recreation's online resource center at pgparks.com or the Health and Wellness Virtual Library at wellness.pgparks.com.